You see a lot of times the teams that win the tournaments are the teams that just sneak in there because they've been battling the whole time. They haven't had an easy road. It's the Warriors, that win it. If you get it given to you, all of a sudden you get to the finals and someone beats your ass. And you're like, how the hell did that happen? They're not better because they've been battling, They've been in the trenches every day, every game, every point. They get there, they're ready to go, Don't let us in, man. Don't open that door. And it got opened.
We're nice and smart. Let's keep controlling the game. All right, these guys are making dumb mistakes.
We dictate this shit. Go out there and put 2 points on the board. Let's go play paintball. Got it? Let me run that! Let me run that! Let me run that! Let's go, goddammit!
This is it. The whole season comes down to one game, and that's right now, goddammit!
Put them down, put them down, put them down again. What there, do not stop fighting.
We woke up! We woke up! We woke up!
Attrition. It's a war of attrition.
It's just a war of attrition.
Let's keep control of the game. All right, these guys are making dumb mistakes.
Never once thought to care. Garnished air seems to fit the mood.
We were beating them, all the way up, and then they kind of just started running down the field crazy, and that's when they started gaining points because it was hard to predict and control when they were just running everywhere. They had to. We were up by 6 points, so they had to just come down the field, so they were just going nuts.
Just once, time and same frame, no luck to count. Still here, worse off than I started. Backed off, notes apart.
We got to the event, and pretty much every match got the shit kicked out of us. Then we got to the event, we practiced real well before the event, and then we get out there, and just nothing goes right the first match. Just play horrible.
The Ironmen they're like our rivals. They're a solid group of people, and then a bunch of kids that they're all ready to play. And most of them are really hungry, kind of like our new kids. But like I said, I don't think our kids are mean enough, and they are.
Back up, notes apart, stand up and accept this award for. Back up, notes apart, stand up and accept this award for. Can't stand the start that I made.
The cylinders are firing, everybody's on. Practice has paid off, this team's paying off, feeling good.
Angel and some guy in the corner, they traded out and they blow each other to pieces. And they both got overshooting penalties. So that was the first penalty. Then Johnny took his goggles off, that was a penalty. And then Mike took his goggles off, and that was a penalty. It was comedy. shot out of me at the very end of the game.
Hurricanes, they just came off of a like monster blowout win against Trauma. We just came out, and unfortunately for them, they took the wrong end of the stick on that game. You know, we just came out and wanted to smash them down, you know, and prove to everyone that, you know, we're for real, and we have been training, and that first game was a fluke.
LA was just kind of weird. I coached through LA and it was just no idea what's going on. So everybody looked flat-footed and we just couldn't win for anything.
LA was literally the worst tournament of my life.
Beat us by 7 points. Well, they were playing well the whole event, and they still just destroyed us.
It's really hard to say what any one thing was, but you know, to me it just kind of felt like the heart wasn't quite there. The drive wasn't, you know, it just wasn't there that event.
We're feeling pretty good. You know, it's the first tournament, but we're playing pretty good. The lines are gelling.
I'll tell you one thing, I'm not going home today. You got that? Come on, go!
That game started off real close, but then I think we just pulled away at the very end.
You can't focus on just getting the snake, shooting a couple people and breaking it open there. You have to be able to move up on the other side. You know, we changed up. A lot of the other guys started stepping up and taking it serious again. I think they saw that, you know, it's not going to be easy anymore, and we got to start working.
The paint truck ran out of paint. There was a shortage on paint, and it was just hard to get paint, so we were waiting to determine what they were going to do 5 minutes before our match. So we basically got paint, ran there, We didn't have a pit crew because we were the 7:30 game or something ridiculous in the morning. No pit crew, so we're just opening paint, just filling pods, just enough to get on the field. So first 5 had to get loaded, and we ran out into the field. Actually called it 2 minutes right out of the start of the game, just a timeout, just to make sure everyone got on the field. All the preparation that we normally did, we didn't get a chance to do because we were rushed.
Every time I smell the air, I can hear a child crying, but every time I hear a river, it was a purple, purple sky and an orange, orange moon. And everyone was whistling the same tune, except Brian. Brian stared out across the field and watched the horizon blossom the copper field.
Now, they got new guns from the Ironman. The Ironman let them borrow guns to play us. And then they actually did worse because they were, I think we were in a groove and they weren't. And they were just running into our guns like, so it actually helped us out a lot. It was a closer game when they had bad guns than it was when they had good guns.
A lot of people are talking about us, you know, picked up a lot of new players, and so they expected us to do better. I don't know, they thought we were going to win, but I believed in us, and the team believed in each other, so that's all that mattered.
Turn on the secret you sought, but we're still burning the dawn just to keep the day hot. They slipped hidden messages into the cards that they dealt, trying to understand myself and all the sorrow I felt. But Sam, how'd I get so complex? Got me.
The Ironman just had our number. They beat the crap out of us. I think they beat us by 13-3. I mean, nothing went down right, you know. We couldn't get a guy to the X, which is the biggest bunker on the field, and they played that field really well. They played it really aggressive.
I could run through the woods and speed like the light. I'd find the answers to why.
I want to punish these guys. They are the #1 team in the world, and I want it back.
I'd figure out how to sweep hell off of my block, but as it
That was one of the first times that I've been in a match where it was back and forth, no one really had control, and I felt confident and just, I felt good about the team.
We used to be lost walking these hallways with pride. Drunk or sober, life was nothing short of roller coaster rides. Used to trip off the music, speak to the rhythm. All we wanted out of life was living. And when you passed, I wanted to take back the time we wasted.
Everybody was clicking, everything was feeling good. Everybody knew that if we let these Russians beat us, you know, then all that hard work and determination was flushed down the drain. We went out there and we played like it.
Plants still grow, and I wish your name was on the guest list to my shows. I want you to see me find my freedom, because you got to meet the...
Most teams, like American teams, you battle them, they put in, they just shoot the lane. Things like that, they don't go in, they shoot really accurate, they're really smart, they know what to do, they know what not to do. They don't freak out when they're down on bodies.
I think the mother is crying when I see the lightning. Feels like my buzz is heightening. Every time I feel the sun, I can smell the love. And every time I smell the air, I can hear a child crying. But every time I hear a river, I think the mother is crying. And when I see lightning, feels like my buzz is heightening.
I got a 2-minute penalty for overshooting. I didn't know the guy was hit. You know, we played again a 4-on-4, and they just did well in killing penalties, and they won a few points like that.
See the lightning, feels like my buzz is heightening. Every time I feel the sun, I can smell the love. And every time I...
You know, we kind of felt them out probably for the first quarter of the game, and honestly, they were pretty predictable. They find something that works for them and they go with it.
But when I hear the river, I think the mother is crying. But when I hear the river,
final sudden death point of the tournament for everything, win or lose, right there. I'm like, you know what, we're gonna win this game. Went in there, saw Pete on the ground, just like praying, ready to win, you know. And I came down and was like, Pete, let's do this, you know. Just was holding him, and all of a sudden we hear rah, rah, rah. I saw all the kids that were just ecstatic, and it was a perfect ending to all the hard work that we had put into it, you know. But at the same time, when you win tournaments, you can't just gloat on that glory for forever. You gotta win the tournament, you wrap it up, and you go home and you practice and you get better and get ready for the next event.
We'd never really played 7-man as a group before this year, and we finally got the chance to do that.
You know, 7-man's changed a lot, the guns have changed a lot, the fields have changed a lot. They really haven't played a lot of 7-man.
The difference between Image is trauma. It's definitely trauma. So now this year was definitely a young team. You know, picked up a lot of players. So the Image team is more like the older people in trauma. You know, plus a couple other random pros that we picked up.
7-man's different than X-ball. It's simple. Like, you just got to get out there and live. It's all about hiding and living. When you go out and lose 2-3 guys, it's hard to win a game. But if you just all make it out and just chill out, we'll be fine.
7-man is a full team. You know, you need communication. You need to be watching lanes. You drop a lane for a second, people are running down in your kitchen, man. They're in your kitchen, they're blowing your head off. And you know, you can't do that. You have to be on point every time.
you got to be ready to commit 3-4 guys into the snake, you know, and it's just a war of attrition. You know, you beat the other team down until they don't have another guy to get in the snake.
If it's going to play like that, that means you're going to have to trade bodies smartly. You can't get a guy in the snake, pop up, and get shot cross field, because then you lose that body that could exchange another snake guy on their team.
You can't really play on your own like X-Ball. You have to work a whole lot more as a team. We won all those tournaments in 10-man, and then we started playing X-Ball, and we just forgot how to do it, I think.
You know, we're going to have some tough games, without a doubt. You know, we're going to lose some games, we're going to win some games.
In 7-man, I think we focus more on that. We want to prove we're the better team.
You know, Huntington Beach, we had a really good balance of people between back people, snakes, you know, just a good balance of people overall. I think that the team has a lot of potential. I always want to win, but I'm also a realist. You know, I know there's a lot of good teams out there. I know we have a lot of work ahead of us.
We needed more practice, because we just did a lot of practice for X-Ball because it was the first event, and then kind of jumped into 7-man.
None of us played 7-man together, really. So we're just going to kind of go out there and just see what happens.
You got to figure out what guys are going to do when they're at a certain point in the game. They're going to run down the field, bunch of people, or you just realize what they're going to do by playing with them a lot.
Our 7-man team is extremely strong. It's definitely much stronger than the team that we had last year for 7-man. You know, hopefully I'd love to win again, of course. And we'll see if we can do it. I think we can do it.
The big game of that tournament was us versus the Ironman. It's the last game of the quarters. Nicky played a great game. I mean, he was in our end of the snake in the first 25 seconds.
It was back and forth battling, and people were coming down. I bunkered Angel out, Todd bunkered me out, you know, Miko bunkered Todd out. We won that game, but it was just too little too late.
We'd shot enough of them in all that madness that we were like 2 points ahead of them going into the semis. Second game we won. Third game came down to Alex got a 1-1 at the very end, and I got pulled out, and it was a 2-on-2, and that happened. So that really hurts. And that ends the game. And they just ran and got the flag and hung it. I mean, we went down with a fight, but I don't think we played our best. We've been around long enough to know that at the very end of the season, the points between third and fourth help you out. We didn't want to lose to Joy because we had the big controversy with them in OC. That's another axe we wanted to grind with people, so we wanted to just kick the crap out of them. What Angel did to Saban is something else. Saban crawled around the snake and Angel was in it, standing on top of him pretty much, shooting him in the head with his epiphany.
We went from Huntington Beach winning it the first 2 or 3 times in a row, or 2 times in a row, then we went to second place, and that sucked, and then now we took third. Yeah, it really sucks. I mean, we don't like losing.
So things were in the motion to change a little bit after that event, especially when you take third.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry.
Hey, left.
We run this 2, 3, team! WCK! Online!
Our field, our backyard, our park, our tournament.
This is a song about
The desire to win was there. It was just the mixing of the new players and figuring out how to run the squads with the different players mixed in.
It was a real close match. I think they were kind of surprised too because they knew we had all those new players and they probably didn't think much of them.
Right now, we tied it up. We go into the second half, punching.
We're playing Trauma at home in North Carolina at their home field. So they have a big advantage there. Trauma coming off 2 rough events, we knew they were going to come back strong. They're a great team. They have great players. Crystal Soya, Tyler, Duder, Dave, Steve. Those guys don't want to lose, they want to win. And especially when you're at home, the last thing you want to do is be watching the finals on your home paintball field. You want to be winning the finals there. So we knew we were in for a fight.
We should have won, but I think penalties killed us. We ended up playing the overtime point 4-on-5 and we lost.
We had another penalty going into the overtime, so we had to play 4 on 5 in overtime. Just blew it.
Right now, let's go, boy! Go down there! Come on! North Carolina, come on and raise up.
When you're losing all your games, you have to search for smaller goals inside of games in order to be happy about. And that we worked on throughout the weekend. We beat X Factor in a really good head-to-head game, not a lot of penalties. We controlled it and we ended up beating them. They end up going and playing the Russians for first and second.
A game against Legacy, we win, we go on. And I think everybody had in their head that, oh, we're going to go out and beat these guys, no problem.
We had so many people there. Everybody we go out with, all of our families, everybody was there. So just a big disappointment.
Some things go your way, sometimes they don't. And unfortunately for us, the easy game wasn't so easy. They came out and beat our ass. And there's not much more to say about it than that. You know, we lost the game we should have won, and we didn't go on.
Focus on your job, shoot your guns, talk, handle, and trust your instincts, all right? Guys over on the sidelines, if you see the move, take it.
That's what we learned in X-Ball, how game plans change drastically. We try to work it out no matter what. Kept trying to run into them, and force something to happen, which is our play style. I mean, we don't like to sit there and not be aggressive.
X-Ball happens so fast that you just lose grasp. That you're like, all of a sudden you have the momentum, and that's everything. Momentum is everything, you know? And once you lose it, you're clawing to get it back.
The game was going back and forth, but they got a penalty, which let us get up. So then when they came back to full strength, the games were still close again, and they were able to make a couple points. I think it was 6-6 going into the last minute, and then they just were able to shoot a couple of us off the break. We were able to chop up some of them, but Travis ended up getting a penalty in the chaos. And I was still left alive. All of them were dead, but Travis got some kind of penalty that, you know, I thought we were going to go to sudden death because the time ran out, but with his penalty, it gave them the hang.
You know, Stranger's a good team. You know, they've got a bunch of young guys, and I just don't think that they've totally gelled with the team yet.
All about Sunday and who wants it more. It's all about that taste of victory. You gotta shove it. You gotta shove it down their throat. It's all about this team right here.
They're a good team, you know, and they adapted to our game plan and shut down lanes. People took them for granted before that, and then when they beat us in a good fashion, you know, on a comeback. You know, it's a big game. As much as it sounds bad, as we're a big team and people beat us, people watch. You know, other teams take notice, like the Iron Mill notice, the Rush will notice on how teams beat us.
You know, it had nothing to do with the mud. The Russian, we went out the first half. I think we had, I think it was 6-1 or 7-1 lead on the Russians. And in the second half, they made adjustments like they're really good at doing. They've got the coaching, they've got the personnel. They made some adjustments and they completely shut us down on the snake. We couldn't even get close to the snake. They took advantage of that. They boxed us in. They were getting G's off the break. You know, and they started using the whole field, and you know, they scored 7, 8 unanswered points. I think they ended up beating us by 1. We had a huge lead, you know, and part of that could be the inexperience. Part of that could be our cockiness again coming out. You know, hey, we've got this huge lead. There's only half the match left. We're just gonna cruise through this. They're gonna score a couple points. We're gonna score a couple points, and we'll just walk away with this. You know, you can't do that in X-Ball.
We're only 4 events in. We're pretty much a brand new team. We were mad from MAO. We all just did a caravan and drove down from MAO to Tampa. Just kind of gelled as a team and friends and trying to bring it together more like that. And I think every team needs to do that.
And in Tampa, like, the team really seemed to gel. You know, like, there was that feeling that everybody was on the same page.
And we were all gelling, you know, hanging out together, having fun, and we rolled right into Tampa and just picked up 7-man like it was no big deal.
You know, and in Tampa we won all of our games in the prelims, and we're like, all right, we got this. This is in the bag, you know. And we lost 3 games in a row, and it was a huge reality check.
You can lose focus, and that's what we did. It's exactly what we did in Tampa. You know, you think everyone's just gonna roll over and die for you, but Sunday's a whole new day. It's a whole new tournament, you know.
We had to Tampa, and we just came out and just seemed like every match, man, we couldn't do anything right.
I don't think we had a good balance. I don't think we had enough practice. We went out there, we won 2 games in Tampa, and that's just unheard of. You know, I don't think I've ever just won 2 games of the tournament ever.
I look inside myself and see my heart is black. I see my red door and it has been painted black. Maybe I'll just fade away and not have to face the facts. You know it's not easy facing up when your whole world is black.
So we barely made it into the top 8, and then once we got there, we just had a couple, you know, one game that didn't go our way, and then didn't make it in.
When we're on our heels a lot of the times, and we know this is it, it's like one more screw up, and when there's a lot of pressure on us, I think we actually do pretty well.
Tampa, everybody was up in their spots, doing their jobs, staying alive, and, you know, we played good team paintball. I don't think it really matters too much who we play, more of, you know, what we're doing together, like how we're playing as a group.
Tampa, we had Dynasty last game. You know, they'd lost a couple games. If we beat them, we knocked them out.
They have a good team. I mean, when you have guys like you know, Billy and Oliver, guys that are veterans, you know, that can play, you know, like you got to give those guys their respect.
That game, they had us on our heels, man. They took 50s and we took 50s, but we lost people and they already had people bumping. They just had a better answer for that first fury of paintballs.
If I look hard enough into the setting sun, my love will light me until the morning comes.
Very frustrating when, you know, we think a game plan's gonna work and it doesn't, and their game plan is just perfectly placed against ours. And then we go out there second game and they just wanted it. We weren't ready for it, you know, we weren't ready for 7-man.
I have to turn my head until my darkness goes.
This is it. I mean, this is the rivalry. We go out and then we shit the bed the first game. You know, they kicked the crap out of us. Everybody couldn't get anything done. Little bumps were hard to do. You gotta get that out of your mind. It's one game at a time. Right then, it's do or die time for us.
No one really wants to listen to each other when everybody's mad. You know, you do a lot of finger pointing.
Got that shit. Do or die, win or be over. Okay? We need to win. I'm not going out like this.
The dudes were really fired up, you know, not want to let these guys think that they're going to come in and do that to us again, especially when it was so close the first time.
been there a lot. We're gonna win that third game a lot. And we just put a whooping on them.
Scrap it out, dog. That's just how it go. You know what I'm saying? I don't battle, nigga. I'll smash you in the fucking face.
Let me do my thing. I rubber the slingshot. Me, please ask your mother how he got. Sublegs, spread face with a ski shot. We hot and season the place, make your knees knock. Rap still tracking, racing like Reebok. Rock Robin, tweet up in the treetop. Ill-advised out of space. Ring G spot. X pills, black amounts, new seeds in my weed. Avion, E and J, Coke, Hennessy, huh? Tennessee blue, blunt smoke, king string rock. Take that off, huh? Come on, let me see my thong song activist. Black and lish, we hot. Gat clapper / mad rap like D-Dot. Speeds in your bling, the rest is peace. All the rest in peace with the dead deceased. Yeah, north side, north side, north side, north side, north side. The north side, west side, west side, west side, west side, west side. The west side.
In this field of rap, we weed out the snakes and rats. See, that shit don't come free and it's made like.
There's a lot of good teams out there, man. And it seems like every tournament we draw the Ironmen. And those guys are no joke. They got a lot of good experience. They got a lot of good talent. Even the younger kids are talented, you know. I really don't know exactly what to say as far as, you know, what our problem is. We have the talent out there, but I think that we're in the process of you know, working out the little quirks here and there.
Animated your characters, face harriers with the higher caliber grammar. Break down you challenges, label mates, the managers, keep you locked in Attica. Y'all don't want it, don't worry about a dot 6 and change to your stomach. And you gon' confront it, cause pain gon' come from it. Supreme is how we raise.
Yeah, those guys want to win. Don't take that away from them. They really want to win, but they get disappointed when they don't, and they didn't put any time or effort into it. It's not like you can just go there and poof, you win the tournament. That was easy shit. We just buy our way through.
It's like the hottest of cities. When you walking down the street, it's probably hustling, muscle up, straight to the bar. Every single point. That's always going to be the plan.
Nah, I remember Chicago. We won our first 2 games.
Saying your gate is my man Crip. Snatching your leg. It's over with. My soldier click. Be scoping your wrist.
And then our last game we played X Factor. And we could have sent them home if we beat them. And the very first point out, Roy got a 5-minute penalty. So from there, we went on to get behind in points a little bit, trying to burn that penalty off, just enough that they're ahead of us. We just told Tony that's what was going to happen if we started losing. It's better to go play on Sunday than to go home after 2 wins.
Yeah, so in Chicago, the team was playing real good, playing real solid, winning real solid games.
The place to be.
We always have close games with them, but I mean, we always seem to beat them. It's kind of one of those games you have that false confidence because you go in knowing that you're a better team, but they can beat you, and they always seem to come out of nowhere with something. And that was a 1-point game. And the rain hurts. The guns don't shoot as well. The ground's slippery, and everything was kind of in their favor, but we were able to be better that day.
The Dynasty game, they came out, like they played really good. When they got up in points, the drive just wasn't there to get that extra oomph to get back in the game.
If you're down that many points, you gotta get down the field. You make your moves a lot faster. I mean, not like you just go running and never hit a bunker, but you gotta just put people in, you gotta make moves, and you gotta just get to their end of the field. Cause some damage and let the other people clean it up.
We take it more serious than them. I mean, when we practice 3 times, they'll practice 1 time before an event. And it's nothing that they don't know. They just don't have the commitment level we have.
We went on to then beat the All-Americans, who I detonate Sunday for the first time. They were playing good again. We felt like it was our turn. We're ready to get that feeling back. We're ready for another big win.
Get tired of those events, and you need fresh bodies to go in there, and it's attrition, the war of attrition in X-Ball sometimes, you know? Especially in like situations in Chicago where it's pouring down rain, and you're tromping through the mud to get to spots, you get tired, you know? And they have those fresh bodies that can rotate it in and out, and they have those new looks you can see all the time, you know?
We're going into the finals against X Factor feeling really good about it. You know, here's this young team, this young group of punks that, you know, nobody knows and nobody likes. And, you know, who are they to try to play with us? You know, try to break into the old boys club. And you know, again, just arrogance, you know, immaturity on our part as a team. You know, we go out there, we think we're just going to walk all over them. You know, it's a new young team. You know, they can't compete with us. Completely wrong mentality, completely false statement. And, you know, they proved it.
We knew we were going to have a hard game, but we were playing really well. We had that field down. I mean, I really thought we were going to beat them. We knew the game was going to come down to the snake. It was going to be who played the snake better. They were powering through the snake. That's how they were beating teams. We knew we had to do the exact same thing. It just didn't happen. They played better than we did. They wanted it more, and they beat us. They beat us in the snake.
We had a good practice before Boston. The field just played out perfect. It was a good landing field for us. But it was like a really methodical field where we could watch lanes, cross it up if need be at the end.
Infamous is a consistent team, I think, until there's a lot of pressure on them. I think that the guys on the team mainly just like to have fun. And if everybody is having a good day on that team, then they're really good.
So we get there, I think we won our first 2 actually, and then we come back and we lose like 3 in a row. So we're like, hey man, we got to take it back up. You know, we're already down. You know, 2 and 3, we got to pick it up, win at least 4 games.
We finally felt things are coming together for us. Another blowout. No Sunday.
Boston went 4-4 on Saturday. It was either going to be us or it was going to be Bad Company making it into Sunday in the 8th place seed. If somehow New England Hurricanes lost, you know, they could have been like, let's roll into Bad Company. They'll be in, Dynasty will be out. They said screw it, and New England Hurricanes beat Bad Company. and saved our asses.
We were able to just come out and put solid game plans together, move at a good pace down the field, so we knew it would play good for us. And it was a field where we were able to hit people off the break. We have some pretty strong shooters on the break, so if there's a field that allows that, then we'll do pretty well.
As I try my best to comfort you, got my fingers crossed, hoping very soon this will end.
There was one side that everyone kind of abandoned, and then Takamoto was able to move up that side pretty frequently and make some kills over on the open Dorito side, just because everyone overlooked it.
Cut out pieces that don't seem right. And it takes a life.
Every time that we step out on a paintball field, 7-man X-ball, whatever it is, man, Iron Man are coming and we're coming full force.
So we take a knife and cut out pieces.
We had the problem where we put way too much emphasis on the snake, which we had been doing all last year. We did it in Huntington Beach. If we stayed out on the snake side, we didn't have a secondary punch on the Dorito side. You know, we had all our eggs in one basket on the snake, and that ultimately hurt us.
Letting it poison my
And here we go with the third game. Last game of finals. So both teams break out. No one takes any ground. Oh, and Cowboy Roy gets hit. Decides he's going to play on. Nice. And gets a penalty. Angel gets up in the 50 snake. Good job, Angel. And Infamous's new FG gets up in there. Oh, he runs Angel down. JR gets a center spot. Brignon shoots pan face out. JR's by himself at that center 50 spike. All alone. Scared and sad and lonely. Oh, Rignon's on the opposite side of the spike from JR. And Rignon runs and boners JR. Get out. 5-on-2. Oh, 5-on-1. Looking good for Dynasty. Infamous last guy at the car wash tries to make a break for freedom and gets shot. Yay! Dynasty wins.
Omaha is probably, it's hands down the most important tournament of the season for us. We have to place, we have to make Sunday to have a chance to even make it to World Cup.
To be honest, it was a waste of 40 minutes and 3 pounds of sweat.
Memory upon the man's face as he said, they're coming back, they're coming back.
We came out, we beat Dynasty. We were down quite a few points and we just pulled it together and won.
Radio, now listening tonight. Tonight, tonight, tonight. There's the last word. There's the last words are perfect. When nothing's said at all. Scared, speechless. The man said his head is shaking. Ramble and truth being known. He wasn't always afraid.
I always like to play them because it's a good measure. You they play a lot of paintball, so like, if you play good against them, have a good match against them, it's a good measure of where you're at. In the beginning, we were doing good, and then we kind of messed up some games. We lost like a 4-on-2. There was just a couple points that, when we looked back on it in our meetings, we just lost some stupid points, and then they didn't finish like, normally they were crushing people. They didn't really finish with like that momentum over us, but they did beat us.
Now we got to go into against Philly, who is won both their games. They're already in on Sunday, and would like nothing better to do than knock us out. You know, in classic fashion, now it's even harder. We battle back. We put it back on those guys. We beat them up. We win. We won.
In Omaha, I think the field really fit us. It kind of reminded me of the LA field last year. For some reason, it just fit us, and we were able to make it to our spots alive, which is really, like I said, really strong for us. And the 7 or 8 guys that were consistently playing were playing very, very well.
Real confident going in the match, and then we come out, I guess, maybe a little too confident because they beat crap out of us. I think they beat us by maybe 10 points. Like, they just destroyed us.
It's just the worst feeling, and right then you're just like, you know, put your whole year in perspective. Like, hey, we have to win this next match.
Yeah, now we're real nervous because this last match is coming down to whether we make World Cup or not. Like we knew if we won all 3, easily we're in. Win the first 2, we got a good chance of making it. But if you look at the scores, we checked everything out, and we realized that, you know, if we win this match, we're good to go and make Sunday. And if we make Sunday, we should make World Cup.
Successive game, we have this great game plan. Paul will put together this great thing. You know, we have our good players playing a little bit more than normal. We go out there, we win a couple of points, they win a couple of points, and then they start just beating us the whole time.
We were just getting shot, running outside. Next thing you know, they had a point above us, and there wasn't much time to get it back.
The horn sounded, and we were like, well, we just lost. We're not going to World Cup, which is probably the worst feeling I've ever had in my life. You know, we've had a solid team. Out of 6 World Cups I played in, I've won 3 of them. So, you know, there's a lot of pros out there, and a lot of amateur players that'll never even win a World Cup. So just to say that, like, I'm happy about that, but it's just tough to look back and think just no more team, no more trauma.
Listen up. We got 13 motherfuckers. One heartbeat. You know what that means? Let's go, boys. Everybody wants the same goddamn thing. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, WCK. All right.
Close game going in the half. Infamous was stacking the back and trying to shoot us going out, and we were putting a lot of paint back in there, taking their guys out of the back center. And come halftime, they got a 5-minute half, and they got a 5-minute right after the half and a 5-minute right after that. So we were playing a 5-on-3, and that was it. I think we wrapped up like 6-7 points in a row.
games when we were pulling away, we weren't taking our starters out. Well, we only had 11 guys, so there was only one rotator. And everybody was playing as hard as they could every point because we'd already lost the game that we were up 6 points on. Naughty Dogs we've had really good luck against in the first game, and that was a pretty easy game for us, so we didn't get, we didn't have that grueling game before we got into the top 4 kind of thing.
Going into the game, we were confident. We were playing the field really well. We had a couple really good plays that wanted to stop, and we were up 5-0 on them. And then we got a 5-minute penalty. And against a team like the Russians, that's a tough penalty to take against a really good team. They shoot one of you guys out the break, you're playing 5-on-3. You can't beat those guys 5-on-3. And they were playing well. The momentum switched at X-Ball. It's all about momentum. And it went from 5 to them beating us by a couple points. You kind of felt that we let something slip through our fingers there. We had an opportunity and we let it slip. And on the pro level, you don't get very many chances. That door opens and closes so quick that when it opens, you got to jump through it. And we let that door close.
The rushing game, I think it was a back and forth game. I think we won the first point, and they came back and they won 2, and we won 1, and it was close back and forth. And Ryan was playing really well. The problem was it was just 110 degrees, and we had to play him so much. Myself, I felt really fatigued in that game. The temperature was just the problem. Everybody didn't look fresh, and they did. They looked like they were in better condition shape for it, and their game plans were working. But still came down to a really close game. Make or break a point here or there, and we win that game. And I don't think we were taken back by them, the Russians, the mighty Russians. It was just, they won by 2 points. It was a good game.
Coming to Kansas City, we went up to DC, in DC area, and then we practiced against Arsenal. And it was real good practice. It was pretty even practice. We hadn't played the field at all, and they had. So they helped us learn the field pretty well.
The team was starting to gel. It felt good. But this time we actually sat down as a team and we went through, all the steps.
I don't know what it was about that event. We had just gotten Johnny back. So we went to Kansas City with 10 guys on the roster. Alex was coming off of an injury. Some guys, for some reason, get really self-conscious when we have a lot of players on the roster because, when you have to sit, they actually think that they're going to lose their spot for the rest of the season. Some guys were really worried about that, and I wasn't aware of that. And then on top of that, nobody really shined out there. No one was actually well, at least he had a good game. No one really could say that on the team.
We played inside in the little indoor field. Indoor is always a little different than outdoor. No matter how you do it, it's always weird. It was real dark, and everyone's shooting dark paintballs, so you just got out of nowhere, you would get sniped. There was a screen above that had a clock. The clock was pretty cool. I thought that was a good addition for fans watching. It was pretty good.
No long goodbyes, the way I go. Now you see me, and now.
A lot of people were complaining about the indoor because of darkness, because of the netting. And I grew up in an indoor field, so it's not really affecting my vision as much as other people are saying it is, and I really don't think it affects people's vision.
Whatever I was, nothing remains.
We finally put it together, stomped through the teams in the prelims and in the quarters.
So ring out the bells for this empty show. I won't be coming back. This is farewell. My apologies.
And then to go on the event, we're a little nervous considering 3 tournaments in a row. We haven't made Sunday playing 7-man. We got to do something. And then we end up going, I want to say 5-3. still made Sunday. I'm real happy about that. You know, that's almost a relief. Just, hey, we made Sunday, we can do this.
This is it, my dying days. There's no reason for me to stay. Gonna cut my losses and get out while I can. I'm already 6 feet down. Sick and tired of trying to turn it around.
We somehow had terrible luck out. I had terrible luck outside. I couldn't live out on that outside field to save my life. And then overall as a team, we didn't have good luck out there.
We're 3 and 4 at that point, like anything goes. We're playing inside.
We were playing blast. LB ended up getting the flag and sprinting it back and hanging it with like 1 second, and we ended up winning that game. So we thought we were in, and then we ended up out by 8 points.
No more fences to mend. Gonna bury the hatchet. No trouble to mention.
In Kansas City, to win games, we would have had to have dudes do spectacular things. Because the team chemistry was not there in Kansas City, because we had 10 dudes trying to rotate.
And everyone was worried about the 10 people, the rotation. When you rotate 3 people out, it means you're taking almost half the team off the field.
We got in the huddle and it was like, okay, who's playing this game? We kind of knew that we shouldn't have done it to begin with, and we did it anyway.
And then we played bad. 10 just doesn't work.
This is it, my dying days. There's no reason for me to stay. Gonna cut my losses and get out while I can. I'm already 6 feet down. Sick and tired of trying to turn it around. Here I am wishing you my best regards. I'm already gone, so long, so long. I'm already gone, so long, so long. I'm already gone, so long, so long.
We concentrated on, from the start of the game to the end of the game, we're offense. We're going to push them off this field, and they're going to have to find a way to deal with it. They can throw whatever they want at us. It's not going to matter because we're going to be hitting them that much harder. That was kind of our basic theory in Kansas City.
We made Sunday, you know. We haven't done this yet, so we were pretty confident after that hey, we can make the finals, we can win this tournament.
Here I am wishing you my best regards.
It was us and the Ironman. You know, we had a lot of confidence. We thought, you know, we'd go out there and beat them. We'd beat them in the prelims.
Second game, we whittled it down to a 2-on-1. Paxton against their 2 guys. He picked up one guy, shot him. Him and his last player run out of air. You know, whether he bounced Paxton or just missed him. You know, we had Paxton alive at the end.
He runs, grabs the flag, and we move on to the finals against Impact.
And up until this point, Impact has just beat us up and down the paintball field in 7-man. Every time we've played them, Huntington Beach, Boston, Tampa, they just kick our ass. First game, things got a little crazy. One of those games where everything kind of gets thrown out the window and it's a free-for-all, just about everybody dying. Me and Mouse tried to make the same move at the same time, so we ended up dropping an extra body or 2 where we shouldn't have.
Second game comes down to chaos on this field.
No one is getting anywhere. It's 6-on-6. Less, a minute left in the game.
And just playing, I'm just like, we gotta go, man. And I'm like, Marcello, you gotta go. Mouse, you gotta go.
At 30 seconds, we finally make a push. We start going down the field. Goes back and forth. 10 seconds left in the game. Paxton and Miko are running down the snake side. Oliver's cutting through the middle. They get shot up, but they take bodies with them. And at 5 seconds, everyone's got paint on them except for Marcello.
Marcello is alive. They have one guy alive. So that means you go to another game. load up, we're going to game 3, baby. I got all my guys, and we're just sitting there, we're waiting the chrono in. And all of a sudden, they're like, you guys aren't playing the 3rd game. They wanted to award Impact of the win, and now we're like, you're crazy, because we got a ref that said, you know, we had one guy alive still, so it's even.
Close game. Impact gets a 1-for-1, gives us the upper hand. Comes down to, I think, a 3-on-2. Paxton runs through, shoots the last 2 guys. We win the match.
You don't have to win all your games, it's just get in. You know, you battle it out, you grind it out, just get in. I say it all the time. And you see a lot of times the teams that win the tournaments are the teams that just sneak in there. Because they've been battling the whole time. They haven't had an easy road. It's the Warriors that, that win it. It's not, if you get it given to you, all of a sudden you get to the finals and someone beats your ass. And you're like, how the hell that happened? They're not bad because they've been battling. They've been in the trenches every day, every game, every point. They get there, they're ready to go.
In 7-man, they do really well, but in X-Ball, like, they're not good on the, like, they come out with one game plan. As soon as you figure that out, like, it's over. They only have one plan for both squads, and they use that over and over, and you adjust to it, they never come, they don't have a coach, or they're not really organized, so it's pretty easy to adjust to it.
How many times before? How many times before? In a light be without regret, stand the time.
They had a better control over the game. They waited us out, sat on zones longer, and kind of just controlled the tempo better than we did. They were able to outweight us. They would shoot a body off the side, and then they would wait to get that kill on the side, and then move up that side. They'd wait on the snake side, get the kill off that side, and move up that side. Skinny Kevin has a notebook full of plays, quick points, snaking the break, pushing the Dorito side hard, going to the X, doubling the X. There's a variety of plays you can pull out for whoever we're playing and what the situation is. We managed to always lose our afternoon games, no matter what. We won all of our morning games. We had a pretty rough one against Miami. We pretty much had to make a point per minute to tie the game up to go to overtime. So they let us do that. We came back, and LB somehow bunkered the last guy, got shot in the pack by us, and they gave us a 2-minute, which carried to the sudden death. We just brought this game back in kind of a ridiculous situation. Why not just keep going? Let's just win the sudden death with 4. And that's kind of what happened. It left us with 3 guys, not even that good of a spread. But all those 3 guys kind of waited out, made the kills, and then we ended up waiting long enough that our penalty expired, so we got that guy back on the field. It was kind of chaotic, and then we ended up on the up end of the chaos of shooting a couple of them and then going and clearing out the last guys to win the match.
They showed up to World Cup to win World Cup. They played real hard, they played real strong. break shooting lanes. They had them down wired. They were shooting us off the break. They were playing real well.
Just run these guys over. We have killed the apple every point. Do not give it away over here.
Philly came to play paintball. Weren't going to roll over. Yeah, we knew that. We went out in the first game. We played hard. You know, so we were in a fight. More prepared, they were ready, they were warmed up, they had the field down, and they beat us.
They're playing really well, real strong. The first game they dominated they definitely dominated the pace of the game and the match. If they hadn't have matched up against us, they would have ended up in the top 4, if not possibly in the finals. They were playing really well, and you know, we ended up going into overtime.
Our advantage of not playing the first couple games was coming out. They were tired, and it was obvious. They were tired, they were beat up. Come the third game, they weren't off the break, they weren't making the bunkers as crisp. We were starting to shoot more bodies. It was still a close game, we got a 5-point penalty, I get thrown in the box. I'm like, oh God, so now I gotta watch in the box. Now I'm in the box, I'm a wreck, and it comes down to, I think it was a 4-on-2 versus Nicky and Marcelo, and Nicky's gun's down. Nicky gets his gun back up just in time. The kid comes running through bunkers, the wrong bunker. Nicky shoots him. Marcelo shoots the next guy coming to get Nicky. That's it. And it was like, all right, well, this is meant to be, man. We were 3 bodies away from it all being over, and you know, now they give us a fresh day. You know, don't let us in, man. Don't open that door, and it got opened.
The two-headed dragon. The two-headed dragon. The two-headed dragon breathes fire, blows flame, veins pumping octane, blazing flames, flame rain, same angle that enable gain as slow as a sharp blade. Whether you're willing to aim, I think it's.
And they got a lot of talent on that team, with the least amount of drive of anybody.
It's a World Goddamn Cup! World Cup!
We thought they were just going to go away, and you know, they have talented players that just didn't want to lose, and they're going home.
To the world's end, all his mind putting work in. Going these doors, on the job, they was thinking, what the hell was they thinking? Must have been drunk, what the hell was they drinking? Wide Irish road, drunk as hell in the Lincoln. Head on collisions in these rap competitions. My cool catch records turn their frames into scrap metal. Cause ain't nobody's on my rap level. You can ask the devil.
There's no tomorrow for them, and that's the toughest way to put a team away. And they came at the very end, and they won. I think they won by 1 point, with like no time left. You know, John hung the flag on a controversial hang. If the horn blew or not. Not as likely we have instant replay, but I didn't think he did. He thought he did, so what the hell are you gonna do, you know?
What happened was Infamous beat us so bad, they're like, in the bag, peace. I'm gonna go have a beer, he's gonna go get a bunch of fried chicken, and all the Infamous guys kind of wandered off after our game, and then for the 4-hour break that we had, all of us were out on the field, walking the field, figuring out what the hell we just did wrong.
I send Pharaoh messages, Mike Moses, taking my people on the
into game 3, and we were out of gas. More guys were getting shot off the break, just not having the same legs and gas to get out to places. We just weren't as fresh.
You know it's me, but you still couldn't catch this maneuver on the mic. I lose hands like Dr. Baptist. When I rap this, rock them seeds, feel the rapture.
I think we were always a solid team, and when teams had to play us, they knew that it was going to be a good game. But we would just kill ourselves with penalties.
I like playing those guys because they're skilled players, you know? Not a lot of lucky shit goes on in that game. You have to make every move count, and they'll make a shot count. We found that we played really aggressive against them, it worked well.
That was another big fight. We definitely should have won it. There's no doubt in my mind that we should have won.
We were pretty pretty confident we were going to win that game, If we got the situation we wanted to and set up exactly right, everybody played real tight, we were going to get what we wanted. We were going to get a win out of that game. When you're playing good, they have to bring out their best 5 guys to play you, and that feels good. To see those, you can see the coaches in there, and they're good coaches. So they brought out their best to play our best, and it went down to the wire, and they won.
I mean, we were definitely playing our asses off. The second squad went out there, we were up by a point, and they ran into the Russians' guns and lost the point. Sucks.
Semifinals, 4 teams left. We match up against the Dogs. You got to take them serious. They're a good, solid team, a lot of experience. They're not sloppy, and they got great players on that team. Now it made it a 2-horse race between us and Dynasty. We were able to pick them apart in the first game, exploit what we wanted to exploit, protect ourselves from what we wanted to protect ourselves from. And we were able to just do that again in the second game. We had really set game plans. We had watched them quite a bit. We knew what they did well, what they did poorly, where their weaknesses were, and I think we were able to exploit that. When they shot wide, they left themselves exposed to a gun from up the middle, and so we exploited that by just stepping out and kind of going up to the X and shooting right back up the middle, and getting a lot of G's out of the back center that way. It was a good game. They didn't give it to us by any means.
I have no question in my mind what's going to happen at the end of the day. No fucking question. In my mind, it's already done. This is the fun part, going to get to do it. Can't wait for that first one. Can't wait. Didn't sleep a minute last night. These assholes saw me this morning. I was sweating. So I had to go run because I couldn't sit in my room. I know each of you guys are like that in your own way. You go put one of those motherfuckers down, and we keep putting them down all morning. You put them down, you put them down, you put them down again. We're down bodies, you look at each other, and we suck it up, and we pull it out. We're Iron Man. 4 and 2, no big deal. We'll chop them up because they don't care. They're going to go fucking play for themselves. Nobody beats us.
To us, it was all about World Cup. It was all about winning World Cup, winning that tournament, and making a statement that we're the best team.
So open up your eyes to this pointless night. It's just the same.
Since it was a close match, they stuck to their set game plans. They didn't get crazy, they didn't get wild, they didn't just start running loose. It gave us an opportunity to map them.
You fight until the bitter end. The game is never over until we can hang the flag.
Which gave us a huge advantage because then Nikki, Paxton, Miko, and Pete knew exactly where to shoot every time, and we just blew them to pieces.
At that point, it wasn't about gun skills, it wasn't about experience, it wasn't about paint, it wasn't about anything, it was about heart, and that's what won that tournament. And I knew going into those 3 games, we had more heart than those guys.
You could feel the power coming from the ground. You just felt it. You felt the crowd. You felt it was our time, and nobody could stop us. There was nothing that team could do or anyone else to stop the Ironmen that day.
yelling it from the crowd, audibles, 5 seconds before the point. Shoot, you know, you got Carillon, he's going to the apple, he's going deep, shoot deep. Everything he called was right on, and they couldn't get out of the way. We were shooting 1 to 2 bodies on the break and running it down their throat.
Going into the third game, we had that confidence that, you know, we're playing humans. We're not playing some unbeatable giant.
We practiced harder than any team out there, you know, at the start of the season, and it paid off in LA. We grinded it out through the year. It was the same guys. It was a bunch of, you know, we were all friends. It's what you always hear about teams, the same cliche. It's a family, but, you know, it was. So this was it. I mean, everything was geared towards winning the World Cup, winning the series, going out on top, being able to sit back and say, all right, I did it. We did it, you know, we did it. We put a team together, you know, we worked really, really hard, and we did it, you know. And it was awesome. It was a good feeling. And I wouldn't want to do it, you know, wearing any other jersey. You know, best feeling in the world.
Shoot, 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 get the kill, win, 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 Iron Man!
The greater wisdom of the MPPL, after 3 or 4 weeks of not saying anything, decided that we would play the one-on-one match at Commander's Cup to see who would win the Kansas City event. You know, we're rolling into that 3 or 4 weeks after winning World Cup, after being crowned world champions. You know, we show up on Thursday, we win Kansas City officially.
Oh, and that's the game for the Ironman, Marcelo.
You know, we get the prize check and everything, so we're pretty high, pretty high right there. At that point, we had accomplished all our goals we had set for the year for the team. Win a 7-man event, win World Cup, and win the series title in X-Ball. To be honest with you, I think at that point, the season was over for us. Mentally, you could kind of see it in everybody. I don't think the team was as focused as it needed to be to really compete at Commander's Cup, which is unfortunate. You know, with what we learned in Kansas City, the talent we have on board, if our team is focused, we're a top 4 team every time. It's too bad we couldn't officially end the season on a high note, but I think we had enough high notes close enough to the end that, you know, nothing's really going to tarnish that.
Was just kind of out of the picture at the time. We knew we had a tournament still coming up. We still wanted to do good, of course, to last the end of the season. It's been such a bad year besides one tournament that you still want to do good, but we didn't practice the fields at all. Just kind of came out, just played half-ass, and
at that point it just wasn't the same. It just, nothing felt right.
But yeah, we get to San Diego, we went like 3-4-1, and that was a year. One Sunday out of 10.
pretty good. Like, we came out with some strong games, and we were able to control going into the top 8. Seemed to be playing pretty solid. We came out on Sunday and just lost our first 3 games, I think. I think we lacked a lot of offense. Like, we started to where we had enough guys that could fill up back lines and hang out back there. We had enough mid guys but we just lacked having guys that are just soldiers and want to get up the field.
Going into that event, the way that the points were, everybody was pretty much like, we're not going to worry about the series. We just went in focused on winning the event. You know, a couple people mentioned talking about the series, you know, and that was quickly silenced.
So, you know, coming into that event, we kind of said to ourselves, you know, we can only do what we can do. We can only win the event. Let that other shit just go wherever it wants to go, you know?
We watched the one-on-ones, and it was like, I'm glad the Ironman won those, because otherwise there would be no chance.
We wanted the Ironman to win. We were rooting for the Ironman, which is pretty ironic. But screw it, man. We wanted the series title. Dynasty's never not won the series title. I mean, as short time as I've been on the team, I know that's tradition, you know?
Why do we put ourselves in this position again? You know, how do we screw it up in the middle of the season so badly to where now we're behind the first place leader by 6 points or something like that?
What's on the line here, we knew coming in. We have a chance. I mean, you know, there's always a chance. Last year there was a chance, this year there's a chance. So we went in there and we practiced real hard. And that was a big difference. Went out there, you know, we set up drills, we did everything we could to win this tournament. And once we got here, you know, we took care of our business.
And we really went into San Diego with that, like, it's us versus you, against everybody. And we weren't being friendly, and we were beating the crap out of people.
Came out like Dynasty, played like, you know, a real team together.
And it was our statement tournament for us, you know, we're back.
Once we started playing and everybody started to get into their rhythm, like, the feeling was there.
Once everything started lining up, got down into those semifinals and finals, we knew.
I got that feeling like we're going to win this, you know, no matter what. I never had a doubt.
You know, we put ourselves back into this situation. We've been here before. We know what to do. The stakes were huge, you know, and it's just like, all right, listen, guys, please don't think in your mind that we need to win this so bad that you can get a penalty, okay? Watching Impact play, they were playing not to lose. They weren't playing to win.
Just the Hurricanes were so pissed that they lost to us because they really felt that they could have beat us. You know, watching those guys play, like they were definitely really upset. You know, Hurricanes were still bloodthirsty. They still wanted to go out and smash them.
We knew right there. I signed the contract with the devil, and shit lined up, planets, stars, solar systems, all that other stuff.
That kind of game for us was great. We got to play our style and they couldn't dictate the game. didn't do anything crazy on the break, and we tried to shoot 7 guns on the break. You know, we tried to make it so everybody's shooting, so if by accident we could hit one of them.
We were shooting dudes on the break, winning gun battles. LJ was getting into that car wash and killing dudes across the field, staying alive.
There was like a minute left, and then they made one more move. Frank made a move up the center. You know, Frank knew that the only way to win the game was he had to go, and we got him out. We shot him out.
All the rest of the guys were getting shot up, and they're coming back with the flag. And I look over, and Alex just starts laughing.
To be able to do that in our hometown, in front of our home crowd, with all of our family and friends there, and to win it by just a hair, you know, is just crazy.
I'm just glad that I can play my part, do my job, and get to sharing the smiles with everybody.
This league is so difficult, all these teams are so good. Now Dog's a great team that's been around forever. You didn't shoot me, you Never mind, take that back when I said this sucks.
Two-headed dragon breathes fire, blows flames, veins pumping octane, blazing plain, flame rain, same angle that enable gain is slow as a sharp blade. Whether you're willing to able, that's in your stockade. I'm from an age where the eyes display caption, it's passion, the fashion with a minute come down, and we strike in their backs like they call cool to dash in. Can't escape slavery, boy, you still the master of natural disaster. This rap tongue twister, emerging from water world, the mighty world, microphone cyclone, blowing in your ears like your girlfriend. To the world's end, all his minds putting work in. These toys on the job, they was looking, what the hell was they thinking? Must have been drunk, what the hell was they drinking? Wide Irish road, drunk as hell in a Lincoln. Head on collisions in these rap competitions. My crew catch records, turn they frames into scrap metal. Off to the jump, cause ain't nobody's on my rap level. You can ask the devil, it ain't no way in hell these contenders can hinder. Remember, Roger Fender, from a friend, Mr. An absolute sinister swindler. I brought the stigmas when your highs cross a land of temper. This is a warning to you men who join in these tournaments of journalists and
I'll see your red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I'll see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes. I'll have to turn my head until my darkness goes. I'll see a line of cars and they're all painted black, with flowers and my love both never to come back. I see people turn their heads and quickly look away. Like a newborn baby, it just happens every day. I look inside myself and see my heart is black. I see
Fuzzy furry balls. Balls, balls, balls. They go fuzzy furry balls.
And then you get teams like Infamous, and I live with them. I know their practice schedule. Shut up!
I don't know. I don't like Canadians at all. They always cry all the time. Smell funny. A good thing I don't make the decisions. They're good, but you know.
Some new little killers on there. You gotta watch out for them. And everyone's really hungry, and that banner's falling down behind me.
I remember your camera came down and about knocked me out on one of the points. Out of the top of the X. Yeah.
one-on-ones are really, really important. I don't know if you can hear me farting right now. Oh yeah.